All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're breaking down a really revealing report from the tech research firm Virtualization Options LLC. It's designed specifically for executives, maybe in non-technical roles, and it unpacks a critical new issue you absolutely need to have on your radar: surveillance pricing.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Have you ever wondered if the price you're seeing online is the same one everybody else is seeing? It's a thought that probably crosses your mind. And the answer? Well, it's getting more and more complicated, and frankly, it could be costing you. Just how much could it be costing you? Well, according to some initial findings from a pretty big federal investigation, it's staggering. We're talking about a price difference of up to 40% for the exact same product. And get this, the only reason for the difference is your personal data profile. This is not a mistake. It is absolutely by design.
The official name for this is surveillance pricing. And I want to be clear. This isn't the same as the old dynamic pricing we're kind of used to, like when flight prices go up for the holidays. No, this is a whole new ballgame. It's a model where the price isn't set by the market, but by a deep, constant, and pretty much invisible surveillance of you. So you might be asking, how do companies even justify this? Let's look at the story they tell versus what's actually going on from an economic standpoint. On one side, you have the corporate spin. They call it enhanced personalization. They argue they're just creating these wonderful, customized experiences. But on the other side, you've got economists, and they call it something way more direct: perfect price discrimination. The real goal here is to figure out the absolute maximum amount of money you're willing to part with and then charge you that exact amount. It completely torpedoes the idea of a transparent market price. Okay, this all sounds incredibly sophisticated, right? So how does it actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the engine that's turning your private life into a personalized price tag. The amount of data being collected is just immense. We're talking about everything: your location, your online behavior, and I mean down to the tiniest detail, like how you move your mouse on a web page or if you leave something in your shopping cart. It's your purchase history, your demographics, and even what kind of computer you're using. Yeah, you heard that right. Just using a Mac instead of a PC can mean you get shown a higher price. And here's how they turn all that data into a price, step by step. First, they mash together all these data sources to build this massive profile on you. Then, an AI analyzes it to figure out your price sensitivity, basically a guess at what you're willing to pay. After that, boom, you get a unique price. And it never stops. The algorithms are constantly learning and tweaking to squeeze every last drop of revenue out of you. So where's this happening the most? The big three right now are e-commerce, travel, and financial services. The travel industry is a classic example. There's so much research showing how travel sites might offer higher prices for the exact same flight or hotel room to someone browsing on a Mac or to someone who's searched for the same trip a few times, because that signals you really want to go. Now, this isn't all just happening in the dark without anyone noticing. Federal regulators have definitely taken notice, and they've launched a major investigation that could signal a whole new era of oversight for the digital world. And this isn't some far-off problem. It is happening right now. A formal investigation kicked off in mid-2024. We saw an interim report with early findings in January 2025. There's a big new rule on deceptive fees taking effect in May. And by the end of 2025, we're expecting the final full report, which, well, that could trigger some major changes. This quote from a senior federal regulator really cuts right to the heart of the whole issue. The main idea driving this whole investigation is transparency. It's all about a fundamental right for consumers, the right to know exactly how your own information is being used against you to set the price you pay. And let me tell you, this transparency is badly needed. Because get this, there's a massive information gap out there. A whopping 92% of consumers have no idea their personal data is affecting the prices they see. 92%. That just shows you how secret these practices have been and why regulators feel like they have to step in. So, if you're a business leader, what does all this mean for you? This is exactly what that report from Virtualization Options LLC was designed to answer. Let's break down the key strategic takeaways for your organization. The bottom line is this: the ground is shifting under your feet. First, you have to expect that regulatory heat is only going to get turned up. Second, being transparent isn't just about avoiding a fine anymore. It's becoming a real competitive advantage for building trust. That means you need to be proactive, auditing your pricing algorithms for fairness and bias, because if you don't, the risk to your reputation is huge. It's a really tough balancing act between the benefits of personalization and the very serious concerns about fairness. All of this brings us to the future.
This whole debate, it's not just about tech or rules. It's about what kind of market we actually want to have. It raises some really fundamental questions for every single one of us. For hundreds of years, the market price was a public thing. It was a shared number that we could all see, which allowed for competition. But what happens when every single price is personal, when it's secret, when it's calculated just for you? What happens to the very idea of a free market? That's the big question we're all going to have to answer.